Sego Kahnawake. So Cody Diabo here just to start off the Kahnawake 911. Apologies for my voice. I am losing it a little bit from all the discussions that we've been having. But going forward, just wanted to give an update. Every Friday we're going to be doing a Kahnawake 911. Time's probably around the same time, but just so everybody's aware about that. So as from the council side on Monday, the council did pass a request for a decision, or an RFD as we call it, which would allocate $500,000 to public safety in terms of administering this whole response. We want to ensure that there's no interruptions and that any type of works or equipments that are needed can properly be acquired quickly so that there's no delay in any type of response. And just going forward, there's a lot of commitment to make sure that we're still speaking with community members in the area as well as the parents for the school in the area. But we have a really good show today. There's a lot of information that's happened. Every day there's more information that comes about, and we're trying to get that out to you as fast as possible. Again, there's always the KahnawakeResponse.com website. That's where we're going to be putting up as much information as possible, as quick as we can, rather than always having to wait for Kahnawake 911. So I'm going to leave it off for Ben Green-Stacey, the Director for Environment, to start talking about the works that had happened since last episode. Okay.
Thanks, Cody. So a number of things to update on this week. Most notably, the outcome from our walkthrough in Chateauguay with Canada, Quebec, Chateauguay, and many representatives from MCK has paid off. There is a significant amount of work that's been planned and is now starting. It started yesterday, actually. Public work crews in Chateauguay, as well as crews from MELCCFP, or the Quebec Environment Ministry, are on site now, excavating some of the ditches, removing some of the phragmite weeds, and really starting to take the cleanup seriously on the Chateauguay side. So that's a positive development. Obviously, we're going to keep a close eye on the work that they're doing to make sure that the cleanup is meeting all of our expectations, and we're going to double check and verify the samples that they're taking with our own samples. So we're going to make sure that everybody is held to account and that the cleanup is thorough. Moving downstream, we had planned to do a reconnaissance through the wetland. Our working theory was that the fuel was hitting a beaver dam as it came through the Suzanne River and was inundating into the wetland, and that's how it was being transported down to Zachary Road. Based on our reconnaissance, we've determined that that's probably not what's happening. Unfortunately, that would have been the easy answer. And where that brings us now is back to the drawing board, essentially. We need to figure out how the fuel is getting to Zachary Road, and in order to do that, we're going to have to do some test pits, some drilling, to figure out how it's being transported underground. The surface water theory was, like I said, the easy answer, and unfortunately, it's not going to be that easy to prove. So we're going to be working with a consultant called ACOM. We've worked with them in the past for the island restoration project, and they're going to help us develop a drill plan. We're going to do a series of drill pits, test pits, to figure out how and where elevated levels of fuel are being transported, and we're going to work out from Zachary Road. So whereas before we were looking at how the fuel was being transported from Chateauguay downriver, now we're going to start at Zachary Road and work out and backwards to figure out how we can determine the source. So that work is coming up. It's being planned right now. KIPO has developed a number of information sheets, fact sheets, that have been posted on our Facebook page and also on the KahnawakeResponse.com website. And we're going to develop more information sheets as the testing plan is developed, as we work through where those pits are going to be dug. We're going to generate maps and explain exactly what the process is and exactly what the methodology is, so that everybody knows exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it, why we're doing it. So stay tuned for that, probably coming up in the next week or so. Yeah, that's my update for now. I'll turn it to Jay.
Thanks, Ben. I'm Jay Dearhouse, Environmental Health Tech with Environmental Health Services. The affected home is no longer alerting the combustible gas meter in the sump pit or in the house. The smell has been reduced greatly with the aggressive use of the air exchanger in the home. So we're hoping that we can help the homeowner get back into their house soon. We are also continuing routine 5-year well monitoring in the area. We are also adding hydrocarbon analysis tests to the wells we're doing in and near the affected areas. These tests are in addition to the routine well monitoring. The outdoor air quality analyzer for the last week that has been placed outside the school and the nearby home have not indicated any changes in the volatile organic compounds. So that's good. Some concerned community members last night reported there were some smells in the area. We checked the reporting this morning and there were no spikes at any levels. So we do not feel there's anything dangerous at this time. We continue to be available for indoor air quality tests and well monitoring, and if you have any concerns, you can call us and we'll make ourselves available. And that's it for this week. Lloyd? Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. Again, just to emphasize a few points that are already been mentioned and the response to date. There has been great collaboration internally amongst various departments and organizations within the community, and it's proven that our response is gaining results, positive results as we move forward, and also the response to any inquiries is done effectively and efficiently. For example, again, last night, as soon as there was a concern raised, there was a representative from Kahnawà Environment Protection who went out there, and as well as with the air quality monitoring, we were able to get results within a matter of hours, and again, all showing that there was no concerns at this point in time. And as we always said, we're going to continue monitoring, as we move forward to ensure that the situation remains stable and remains safe. Because again, safety and health of individuals is again our number one priority. We did meet with the school, Garibinoto School on Monday with the whole team from Environment Protection as well as with the Environmental Health Services and Public Safety. Meeting went well, and their parents were reassured that the area is safe to reopen. Again, monitoring will remain, and we'll keep doing what we need to again reassure people who are directly impacted, by the impacts of this fuel. One thing, for example, the school asked for some fencing to be put around the back to have an extra level of security, so children don't go near the creek, which was something that was accommodated. So we'll take some large measures that need to be done, important scientific-based approaches, as well as things like that, like putting up fencing and such, will continue to be done. There will be some more mitigation measures or cleanup, as it may be called, in the area, in and around the school, in and around Zachary Road. But we want to make sure that we're clear on the source of a lot of the fuel. We want to make sure we're clear on what we're going to be cleaning and to what extent. So we don't want to do something prematurely. But keep in mind, and I want to reassure the community that whatever areas are deemed to be contaminated will be cleaned up. But again, we want to do it in a timely and an appropriate manner. We are planning some work again with the Environment Quebec and what's happening on the Chateauguay side. We had a series of meetings with them. One matter of fact, just this morning, things are moving along well with them. We are going to be doing a walkthrough sometime next week with the Kahnawake team and their teams to show that we are satisfied with the cleanup that is done on the Chateauguay side before we consider any modifications to our mitigation measures on ours. But as was mentioned previously, we're glad to see that there was actually a significant amount of work happening, in that area. They do have a mobile lab on site over there, and there are continuing water testing and as well as some soil testing taking place. Again, in Kahnawake, we'll make sure that we're actively part of that and aware of any test results that are taking place. And if need be, we will go ahead and do our own testing to ensure that the integrity of Kahnawake territory is not impacted. So, again, we have our dams in place. We have some barriers in place that will remain there for the foreseeable future. And maybe on a final note, again, the community, including council, obviously is taking this very seriously. On Monday, even though we have been operating as a crisis response team for a couple of weeks now, it was formalized with the team members as that you've seen here, and as well as others. And there was, again, like I said, the support in terms of financial support and political support that was given by Chief and Council to basically respond quickly and effectively and keep on top of this. And if there needs to be political pressures on people, they're available. Financial allocation was done of $500,000, which runs through Public Safety to, again, respond as required, get whatever equipment may be needed. So it's ongoing. As I mentioned last week, it's all hands on deck. Everybody's working collaboratively, again, in the best interest of our community and our territory and our people. So with that, I'll leave it to Dave to close up the show today. Thank you very much.
Lloyd. So as Lloyd mentioned, we are part of the CRT team. I am the coordinator. We are working diligently, especially after hours. We just want to reassure everybody that we are available after hours if you have any emergency needs. So you can always call the Kahnawake Peacekeepers at 450-632-6505. That's for the immediate 29 homes that are in the risk area. If any community members have any questions, you can feel free during regular business hours to call the Public Safety Division, and that's at 632-0635. All updated information will be on the website, and that website is KahnawakeResponse.com. And if you just want to send us a question, if you have any concerns, by all means, we have an email address for you, and that's at questions.mck.ca. And if you do have any other information that you need to know, please stay tuned to local media, read the paper, listen to K103, and also we'll be here every Friday, and if needed, we'll be here when required. Nyawago for joining us here today, and until next time, we'll see you then.